Welcome back, kids. It's Sarcasm Speaks. I'm Jared here with Bob. Coming out of the gate, I'm hot. I'm I'm pissed off. Um, I'm blowing all the YouTube things. I'm swearing. I'm saying this is fucking ridiculous. So our buddy. Now let me preface this by saying I'm not mad at him. My anger is not directed at our buddy. Let me just throw that out there first. So we have a mutual friend who works for a Toyota dealership in Boston. Who, if you've been listening to the show long enough, I think I talked about it on the show. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But either way, here you go. I bought. Well, I didn't buy. I leased a new Toyota Tacoma about 6 or 7 weeks ago. I would say at this point. Somewhere around there. I think I went to see him like the week after Labor Day. So we're looking at a solid at least 6 weeks. Anyway, I go see him. We sit and we talk and we agree to everything that's going to go down. I'm going with the Tacoma. He asked me for a couple different colors because he says we don't have any right now. Which is legit. Like him and I walked the grounds of the dealership. They had one Tacoma on their grounds. That's it at the time, 6 weeks ago. One. He showed me the other lot they have that's usually full, totally empty. There was another lot down the street. He said is usually full down by the Honda over there. That's totally empty. He goes, there's no cars. Toyota decided to cut its production like from the factory, like in Japan, by 40% because of COVID and all that shit. So if you haven't been paying attention, there's a massive shortage of just about fucking everything right now. And part of the shortage for the semiconductors is the chips, right? Those get put into the chips that get put into new cars because new cars now are essentially computers on wheels. So the way it was explained to me also, which makes sense, is especially for a company like Toyota, they get their biggest bang for their buck on Camrys, Corollas, RAV4s, right? Your small sedans and your mid-size SUVs. Your pickup trucks, they don't make that much money on because they don't sell that many of them. So they said, fuck it, they're cut production. Because of that, long story short, I don't have a truck. So I agreed to a lease and they're buying my car from me. So the way it was going to work out was they were going to actually cut me a check out of the deal. So I was actually getting money back. So I was going to get a new lease for a brand new Toyota Tacoma for a price that worked very well for me. And I was going to get a significant check cut back to me. We don't have to get into actual numbers here, but let's leave it at that. Well, I talked to our buddy, just about every week over the last 6 weeks. At the beginning, it was, hey, man, I got nothing for you. Hey, man, I got nothing for you. Then eventually it goes, hey, I think we found one. We're looking at the week of October 18th. Cool. That's this past week. Comes in. I get a phone call today. Hey, man, good news. The truck is on the lot. Bad news. The numbers we talked about before don't work anymore. So he goes, in order for you to get the check back that we talked about, your monthly lease payment is going to go up is roughly, we'll call it $45. It's going to go up $45 a month over the course of 36 months. It's like over $1,500 over the course of 3 years. So I'm like, why? What is this? Like, what's going on? And he goes, well, that was last month's deal. This month the numbers change and they run everything off of like price and time and depreciation, all this stuff. And he explained it to me. And I go, hey, man, like, first of all, I want to say, like, thank you very much for all of your help. I really appreciate it. Like, but this is fucking bullshit. This is absolute fucking bullshit because the numbers we agreed to 6 weeks ago, because your dealership couldn't procure my truck before the end of September. I get fucked because of it. And he goes, honestly, dude, yeah, I'm so like, I can't sugarcoat it. He goes, there's no way for me to sugarcoat it. There's nothing I can do about it. And I go, and again, I said, I know I'm sorry. Like, I'm not yelling at you because I know it's not you. You don't, you're not the one sitting there being like, this is how much things are going to cost. But this fucking sucks, dude. Like, this is annoying. Right. And he goes, yeah, man, like, I totally get it. So we talk and I go, well, what are we looking at to keep the price the same as what it was before? Right. And I go, let me know what things look like in order to keep the price what it was before. And he goes, all right, I'll get back to you. And I'm assuming he was busy today and I never heard back from him. But now I'm pissed, right? Because we hear shit on the news about like, oh, supply. Oh, there's 150,000 ships sitting in the fucking San Francisco Bay or fucking San Diego Bay, whatever the fuck it is, out in California. Oh, we don't have time to unload all the trucks. Oh, there's a shortage of everything. Oh, there's a shortage of fucking fascia board. There's a shortage of fucking trucks. There's a shortage of pumpkins. There's a shortage of fucking everything. Well, now it affects me directly. And now I'm fucking pissed. And unfortunately, I'm a huge fucking loser. And there's nothing I can do about it either, other than suck it up and pay whatever fucking extra money I have to pay. And I am going to continually bitch about it. And because I happen to have a podcast where roughly 50-ish people listen to, thank you all twice a week for tuning in. I'm going to fucking complain to you guys and to you because you're actually here looking at me and they can't actually respond to me.
Fun fact, though, for those of you not watching, I'm actually not looking at him. I'm watching TV.
Yeah.
Well, so John Peterson, former PGA Tour golfer, was going to give it a go, but his wrist is too fucked. He's basically medically retired at this point.
Yeah.
He won the individual at LSU in 2011. Anyway, whatever, not important. So he told a story too. He's in the Fort Worth area, and he wanted to buy a new truck. And he's looking at the trucks and MSRP. Gives the guy the call. Says, "Hey, I want to buy this truck. Do you have any?" The guy's like, "Oh yeah, we have a few." He goes, "Great. I will pay you the MSRP." He's like, "I understand. The fucking shit's crazy." He goes, "I will give you the MSRP and I'll pay cash." It's like a $60,000 truck.
Yeah.
The guy goes, "Yeah, I can't do 60,000 on that truck." He's like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna need to do 90 on that truck."
Jesus.
He goes, "Dude, I ain't paying you 90. He's like, "What?" Well, he goes, "What? Like, really?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, and the guy, he goes, "I've never had a sales call like this." He goes, the guy goes, "Yeah, I'll find someone to pay 90 for it. So I'm just really not interested in selling it for 60.
What the fuck?
And he's like, "Really? That's how this conversation's going?" He goes, "Yeah, pretty much." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I ain't selling the thing for less than 90. So if you don't want to pay 90, I guess I'll just go." Like,
yeah. Holy shit.
Talk about like usually like car salesmen, it's like schmoozing you, this and that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's, "Oh, I will." It's like, "I want this car, but I refuse to pay full price." It's like, yeah, not only will you pay full price, you will fucking pay more than full price now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, that's what
dude, it's a really, really bad time to have to try and buy a car. Like, it is sucks.
Well, it's a bad time to try and buy anything, really, like houses, cars, all that shit. You know what I mean? We are not in a buyer's market right now. It's all sellers. Anyone that sells things right now is making a fucking killing. Look at Amazon. Look at Walmart. You know what I mean? Like, they're making money hand over fist. But like, so that's what our buddy said too, when he was like, yeah, because then I was like, dude, like, is there any fucking thing we can do? Can you throw in like a fucking tonneau cover, like appease me? Nothing. He goes, dude, I can't. And he goes, those cost so much. And I'm like, all right, I get it. I'm grasping at straws here, but like, I'm just pissed. And now to anyone listening that's like, oh, well, maybe if you can't afford a $45 increase a month, maybe you shouldn't be getting the truck. It's not about that. I can afford the $45 a month increase. So go fuck yourself. Stuff your fucking gross socks up your ass and pull them out really fast so you just shit all over the floor. Because that's not what this is about. It's not about the $45 a month. It's about the principle. And it's about the fact of the matter, like what I said. And again, it's not his fault. I understand that. But he just caught the brunt of it today from me while I was also at work when I took the phone call. So it's not like, I'm in a nice, calm state of mind. So we agreed to a deal 6 weeks ago because the dealership, could not procure my truck in a timely manner. I now get fucked and have to pay more. And again, I can afford the $45 a month. I'm still going to get money back anyway. Like, I'm still going to get the fucking check back. It's just going to be a lot smaller of a check. Like, it's whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm still going to make out in the deal. But the fact of the matter is, like, it's the principle, really, is what I'm fucking pissed about.
So I bet those agreements, I don't know what the out is. There's got to be an out where if the car doesn't get delivered or whatever.
Yeah.
But usually it's not in the dealership's best interest to fuck with those agreements.
Well, I never signed anything.
Did you pay a deposit?
No.
Okay.
So that was the part of it. So that was also the other part of the deal where, like, he goes, listen, man. And then we also know that, well, you know him more. I've just met him in passing. Is he the general manager of that Toyota?
He might be a
sales manager, whatever.
Yeah, he's basically like one below the owner or so.
So basically, in talking to both of them, they were like, listen, man, we're not going to ask you for a deposit. We know you're not going anywhere. Because the whole thing about it is, like, they get a deposit from people so that I couldn't then continue to shop, get a truck somewhere else and be like, oh, hey, fuck you guys, I got a truck somewhere else. They're like, all right, cool, we're going to keep your deposit. Like, that's what that prevents it. And they were both like, listen, we know you're not going to fuck us. Like, when we get the truck, you're getting the truck. And so we're not going to take a deposit from you. So I didn't have to pay a deposit. But, it doesn't make the situation any less fucking annoying.
And again, so it's like I'm just, the comment I was going to make is, like, you come to agreements, and whether it's verbal or written, like, even if you signed it, it wouldn't have mattered. You've been in the same situation because
right. Because they change things every month. It's month to month with cars and dealerships.
The owner of the dealership's going to look at it and go, all right, well, anyone that came to an agreement, those are all void. And I want you to sell all of these trucks for hire because we have to.
Right.
That's obviously how it went.
Yeah.
And, like, dude, he's got people that have agreements to get cars in December, and they ain't getting their cars.
Oh yeah. When I was there, like the week after Labor Day, he showed me one dude bought a car it was either July or August was when he agreed to it, and the delivery date was December. Because it was it was like completely custom. Like, he customized everything from the factory. So it literally had to get built at the fucking factory and then shipped to Dorchester. So the guy, like, bought it in, like, the last week of July, let's say, and the delivery date is December.
Yeah, he probably won't be getting it then either.
Yeah, exactly. So now, like I said, my life is directly affected by the supply chain bullshit, and now I'm mad. But again, like I said, because I'm a huge fucking loser, there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm just going to bitch and complain.
So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm probably going to end up getting stuck buying my lease because I'm probably not going to have an option.
Yeah. You're up, what, in May?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way. If the supply chain is this far gone now, there's no way it's going to be magically back to normal by May. No. I mean, you might be in a better spot if you go stick with the Corolla, because like the Corollas are what makes them money. You know what I mean? Like, that's probably their number one seller. Like, if you want to go lease a Tacoma, good luck. You better, lock that in now. Let them know now so they can start looking.
Yeah. But
so the other thing too is I thought about this after I hung up with them, is to even ask, like, am I going to get a 2021 or a 2022? because now it's been so long. Like, I don't know what, you know what I mean? Because we originally talked via text in like August, and the 2022s don't come out until like September, October. So now I have no idea. So with knowing me, because it's me, and again, huge piece of shit over here, I'm going to get fucked. The price is going to go up. I'm going to get a smaller check back for my car, and it's going to be a 2021. Not that that really matters. I'm just bitching because I like to bitch. Do I really give a shit whether it's a 2021 or a 2022? No, I don't care.
That shouldn't matter.
But it's one more thing to add on the list that I get to complain about.
That one at least doesn't actually matter.
No, it really doesn't.
It's a lease, so it literally doesn't matter.
No, and the way I set up the lease, well, the way I had set it up before was I was going to make out in the end and actually not end up getting fucked at the end of the lease when I buy it out. Because I'm like 90% going to just buy it out at the end. But there was a reason why we agreed to the number that we agreed upon without getting like crazy fucking, beautiful mind over here. The amount of my monthly payment was at that number because by the end of the 3 years, if you add what I paid in lease payments over 3 years to the assessed value, because when you lease a car, you agree upon the buyout at the time you sign the paperwork for the lease. You know what I mean? So I know exactly what I'm going to have to pay if I want to buy out my lease and finance the rest of the car, like when I get my paperwork done. So again, the monthly payment was a number that over 36 payments, if you add that to the the finance price at the end, was less than the MSRP. So I was going to make out in the end. So that's why I'm also pretty steadfast on like making sure it sticks to that number. Again, go fuck yourself. You're going to give me shit over $45 a month. I can afford it, bitch. I have a job. So that's that. That's why I've fired up today. Everyone else is.
I don't think he worked today. I saw him today.
Yeah. No, I think he did. Maybe he worked like later. He didn't work yesterday because I texted him yesterday, and he was like, because I asked him, I go, hey, still, because it's Wednesday now, like it's supposed to come in this week, and I was like, hey, still looking like sometime this week, and he goes, I don't know, I'm not in today, but I can call and find out. And I go, dude, don't do that. I go, don't work on your day off just for me. I'll find out either tomorrow or Friday. Like, it's not a big deal. But yeah. So speaking of the supply chain and the shortage of literally everything in the world, a lot of people are really upset right now because the whole thing about like the ports, I think it's LA, right? LA and San Francisco are the two ports or something, or Long Beach. I don't fucking know. So there's two ports in California that handle 40% of the imports to this country, right? And everyone's probably heard about like the 150,000 ships just sitting in the Pacific Ocean waiting to be unloaded. And now they're going to 24/7. They're going to 24-hour shifts in California for the longshoremen to unload everything, and it's not going to matter. So come to find out, we got a call back here. Do you remember the Bukkake judge?
Yes.
Yeah. So Pete Bukkake judge, again, if you've been listening to us long enough, you get it. If you haven't, well, welcome to the show. Go back and listen. Mayor Pete Bukkake judge was dubbed the czar of like transportation or something like that. Let me see what his actual title is. Yeah, he is the Secretary of Transportation. So he's the czar. He's the czar of transportation in the United States in the Biden administration. Well, wouldn't you know? So it falls under the transportation czar to handle imports, right? Because it's transportation.
And exports or just imports?
Probably both, I would imagine.
And exports.
Yeah. Because it's transportation, it's ships, right? Ships, trucks. Like once everything gets unloaded off the ships, they then need to be driven by trucks to wherever they're going to go, right? So it falls under his jurisdiction. Well, wouldn't you know, Mr. Bukaki Judge has been on paternity leave for how long? Let's say, give me a guess. How long do you think he's been on paternity leave? Remember, he started his job in February. It says right here, he assumed office February 3rd as the transportation czar. So that's what? February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. That's 8 months. He's been there 8 months.
I'm going to say 8 months.
3 months. He has been on paternity leave for 3 months. So, when did the supply chain issues start to pop up, you think?
Oh, it was before 3 months ago.
Well, yeah, I know, but like summertime, right, was when things got pretty bad.
Oh, it was before that.
Either
We've
way,
had supply issues for a while.
So this dickhead is on paternity leave, and he's literally in charge of transportation stuff.
Well, not
he's
right
not
now.
there.
He's on leave right now.
Yeah, he's on leave. So
yeah, I mean,
the one thing I will give him, this is, so to be fair, I opened that way just because it's funny. And that's like been the talking point. The right-wing talking point has been like, can you believe this guy? He's been on paternity leave, which, yeah, also like I'm a supporter of paternity leave. You don't need 3 fucking months, buddy. 4 weeks max, 1 month. You get, that's a lot. That's a lot. Most guys don't get paternity leave at all, which is why like I'm a supporter of paternity leave. I think somewhere between 2 to 4 weeks is good enough. For guys, you don't need to be out of work that long. What are you going to do? You're going to sit there and be like, how the fuck do I change this diaper? And then your wife's going to yell at you for being a loser and not knowing how to change a diaper. And you're going to be like, I don't want to do this because this smells like shit. And she's going to be like, well, it is shit. So get used to it. And you're like, I'm going back to work. So paternity leave, whatever. He's on it. You don't need 3 months. So this is what I'm getting at. The conservative talking point is, oh, it's all his fault, whatever. And I'm glad you brought that up. The supply chain issue has been around for a while. Also, everyone that's going after him directly, you act as if this is like a one-man crew.
He's down at he's unloading the shipping containers.
He's the only guy, right? He's the only guy that's in charge of transportation for the entire country of 330 million people. We have one person that's in charge of how to unload ships and drive trucks.
He has to go down and unlock every container.
Yeah, it's all up to. He doesn't have people that work for him, right? He doesn't have an assistant secretary of transportation. He doesn't have 17 assistants. He doesn't have an entire office of people that work for him.
Nope. Entire department.
It's just him. Yeah, that's why. So that's what I mean. Like all these people, like I said, the conservative, the right wing talking point is like, how dare he be out when there's a supply chain? Yeah, that's fair. You don't need to be out on paternity leave for 3 months when there's a massive fucking supply chain issue and your job is literally the transportation czar. Get your fucking ass back to work and figure it out. However, it's not a one-man show. It's not a one-man show. So
he's okay. Let's actually break this down. First and foremost, the guy's a politician.
Yes,
right?
Massive.
And all politicians are cunts.
Yes.
So he's a cunt.
Correct.
Number one.
Correct.
If you give a cunt 3+ months of paternity leave,
if you give a cunt a cookie, he's gonna ask for a massive glass of chocolate milk because he's a spoiled cunt.
He's gonna take every day that he's entitled to.
Yeah.
He's gonna take it. And when you're a politician, you're a cunt. I want to reiterate that. If you're going to walk back into work and it's going to be a disaster, you're probably going to take as long as you can.
Yep.
And since he works for the US government, it's going to be nearly impossible to fire this man over paternity leave.
Correct. Yeah. Well, no, especially because it's an appointed position. He was appointed by the president. So in order for him to be unappointed, he's got to do something pretty fucking bad.
Yeah.
For the president to be like, hey, man, like you can't be in charge of this anymore.
Yeah.
But still, like we said, it's not a one-man show. He's not the guy down there fucking unlocking all of the fucking gates and shit. But still, I don't know, try and do your job. Like, I'm sure there's some things that need his signature. You know, like there's got to be some things that need his signature that haven't been signed because he's not there.
Dude, this is okay. That's the fucking transportation king has nothing to do with the supply chain. This is my thing. It's whether they can't get labor or they can't get on the same page.
Well, there's a massive shortage of truck drivers too.
We are no different.
Yeah.
Now, I agree with you that taking 3 months is absolutely obscene.
Yes.
But if they're gonna give it to you, take it. Like that's how I would. Like no one leaves maternity leave fucking early.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 4 months. Yep, it's exactly 4 months to the day.
Yeah. Yes, literally.
The weekend.
Literally to the day.
So if they're gonna give it to you, it's just usually paternity leave isn't paid, or it's like a week paid, but you can take as much as you want. You just can't get fired for it. At least that's in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Like paternity leave doesn't need to be paid, but you can't fire someone for going on it. But therefore, if you say it's like, all right, well, I'll give you a week. It's like, oh, I was thinking about taking a month. It's like, okay, cool. See you in a month, but you will not be receiving a paycheck.
Yeah.
So whatever you want, man.
Yeah, exactly. So I just looked up the US DOT. So that is, you know, like we have MassDOT, like the US DOT is like the federal version of that. There's a lot of shit in there that they're responsible for, like a lot.
Will you tell me they're responsible for something insane like carnivals or something?
Pretty much, actually. Yeah. So let me read all of the things that fall under Pete Bukaki Judge in his office. The Federal Aviation Administration. So that's the FAA, right? So all the planes that falls under Bukaki Judge.
That's easy. That's planes, trains, automobiles. Moving on.
The Federal Highway Administration.
Yep. Cars.
Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. Seems redundant, but
that's still cars.
Yeah.
That's just
Federal Railroad Administration.
Trains.
The Federal Transit Administration.
That's fucking trains too.
I don't know. Transit. I think that's everything.
It's all no. US DOT is everything.
Well, yeah. Like, why do you have a Federal Railroad Administration and a Federal Transit Administration if they're both trains? What's the difference between a transit and a railroad? Oh, actually, you know what? I think I just answered my own question. I think transit moves people and railroads move goods. I think that's what we're going to go for. I'm not going to look it up because I don't fucking care. Next, we have the Maritime Administration.
Boats.
Next, we have the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which not to be confused with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that we already talked about. Now we start to get a little goofy. Office of the Inspector General. What the fuck is the Inspector General?
What does the Inspector General do?
Is that like the Postmaster General? Are they cousins?
But at least the Postmaster.
Wait, are they second cousins or third cousins?
So the Postmaster General is the king of the post office.
Right.
So this guy is the king of inspectors? I'm going to Wikipedia. I'm going
okay, here's the Wikipedia. All right. So this is from Wikipedia. The U.S. Department of Transportation Office of Inspector General is one of the Inspector General offices created by the Inspector General Act of 1978. Oh, God, I love the government. The Inspector General for the Department of Transportation, like the Inspectors General of other federal departments and agencies, is charged with monitoring and auditing department programs to combat waste, fraud, and abuse. You want to talk about bureaucracy at its finest. In 1978, who was the president? Nixon?
Couldn't tell you.
No wonder why. There was somebody, some dickhead was like, you know what we need? We need more people to be inspector generals. So let's get an inspector general in every single department that we have. What the fuck off. So that does nothing. Office of Inspector General. Cool. Next on the list, under the U.S. dot, the Office of the Secretary of Transportation.
So that's just the admin office.
Yeah. So the office where Bukaki Judge does all his work. The Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration, which is different than the previous two safety administrations and also different than the Inspector General. The St. Lawrence Seaway Development Corporation. I have no fucking clue what that is. The John A. Volpe National Transportation Systems Center, which sounds like a building, which I would probably also gather that the Office of the Secretary of Transportation probably is not in the John A. Volpe National Transportation Systems Center, because that would make way too much sense. It's probably just a separate building. And then finally, we have the Bureau of Transportation Statistics. So there you go. That is everything that falls under the Department of Transportation that is run by one Mr. Bukaki Judge.
So where's the part about him going to single-handedly fix the supply chain?
I think that's in the Maritime Association one.
Man, it sucks. Like he has to go like when a train breaks down, he has to go sit there and like fix it himself.
Yeah, it's a tough gig. It's the hardest cabinet position there is.
And like when the pipeline went down that day, like he had to go out there and like
he had to dig,
figure it out.
Yeah.
he had to go on let the oil flow.
This people, man. So, like I said, the paternity leave, way too fucking long, pal. But also, he's got a whole office full of people. It's not just because he's out that the supply chain is fucked. So, but God forbid you try and take a middle ground position on anything these days.
Can't do it.
Nope, can't do that. All right, let's do you want to get into the craziness that was today on the stock market?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Let me lay this out for you guys. So by the time this comes out, it's way too fucking late. This thing has already passed the moon, and we're probably sitting on fucking Jupiter at this point. So early this morning, like very early, like I don't know, but like when I was sitting drinking coffee this morning, I caught wind through a random internet source that Donald Trump was going to be creating his own social media platform, right? Because he's banned off of all other platforms. So I see that and I go, that's interesting. I want to know more. So I go to DuckDuckGo, and because that's my browser now. And I type in Donald Trump new social media platform, and a bunch of things pop up. One of the articles, I click on it, and as I'm reading the press release, in there, it says he started something. I want to say it's TMNT, but it's not, because that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's like Trump Media something in technology, but I'm going to call it TMNT because it's fun. Again, we don't let facts get in the way of stories here. What'd you say?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, that's what I said when the host isn't listening. So he's going to start TMNT. And also in this article, I see that this company, it's called Truth, by the way, is going to be his social media platform. It's going to go public. And in that, it's going to go public via a SPAC, which we don't have to get into this, but it's a reverse merger. So there's two ways a company can go public. They can file all kinds of fucking bullshit paperwork to start an IPO, or they can fill out less paperwork to merge with a company that already exists on the stock market, whose sole purpose is to just merge with another company. If you Google, I'm sorry, stop, don't Google that. If you DuckDuckGo SPAC, it's just SPAC, you can learn all about SPACs and how awesome they are. So I found the company, the SPAC, that is going to merge with Trump's social media platform. And I forget what it stands for. It's like Digital World something or whatever. The stock tag is DWAC, Digital World Acquisition. That's what it stands for. So DWAC, I pull it up on Robinhood, and this morning at like, I don't know, 6 o'clock, it's trading for $11 a share. And I go, okay. The other thing too, again, maybe you guys will learn this if you actually go Google SPACs. DuckDuckGo SPACs. Sorry, fuck. I got to remove it from my lexicon. So typically a SPAC pre-merger trades around $10. Again, you're not going to see much variation from $8 to $12. It's going to be in that range. So I see $11 and I go, yeah, it makes total sense to me. It's a pre-merger SPAC. This was pretty new. It was just announced like this morning, 6 o'clock. I go on Robinhood and I make a limit purchase because it's pre-market hours. So you have to do limit stuff, whatever. And I purchase 10 shares and I have the limit at $12. Okay. Well, the market opens. My thing goes through. I get a little notification that says, hey, your limit purchase was executed. Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Robinhood. Then I go on in like 10 minutes after that, because Thursday is my busy day at work. And it's at like $17 a share. And I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking crazy. So I buy some more. Then I go about a little bit more. I go to the next class. I do what I got to do. I look after that. And it's up to like, what did I tell you guys that it was at?
You said it was like, it started at 12 and then got to like 24.
By the time I texted you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So then so I looked at it first and it was at 17. So I bought more. Then I go to another class and I finish that class and I look, and that's when it was at 24. And I'm like, holy shit, this is wild. It's up $13 since 6 a.m. And this was probably at what, like 8:30? No, probably like 9:30.
You texted us?
Yeah.
Nah, dude, you didn't text us till the afternoon.
Oh, okay, whatever. I don't know. Like you said, Thursdays are fucking crazy. Yeah. No, that makes sense because I
text like 8:30. I don't know. Like,
I have back-to-back classes. I have 5 classes in a row on Thursday morning that I have to teach on Thursday. So it's just a shit show. So that makes sense. So by the time I texted you guys, that's what it was at. So then I start being like, yo, well, fuck this. I'm jumping in. Like, I'm going all in. So I consolidate. I sell some shares of some other stocks that I have. And I buy a good amount of stocks. Again, we don't have to talk exact dollar figures here. Big. But my average cost, my dollar cost average, whatever, I think is somewhere in the vicinity of like $26, right? With all of the shares that I've bought throughout the day as it goes up and up and up. So then I just happen to look and things keep going and it just goes up. So that was at 12:30. So I found our group text. I texted you and Vinny. So then Vinny gets in at 1:00. It broke $30. 1:03. I texted the group. Just broke $30. Then at 1:17, 14 minutes later, it crossed $34. At 1:24, so you can tell the end of my Thursdays are front loaded. I have 5 classes in a row, and then I get lunch, and then I have 1 class in the afternoon. So my Thursdays are very front loaded. So I texted again at 1:24, $37.50. Then I had a class, and then after the class at 2:07, I texted and go, Jesus, just in the time I was in class, it went all the way up to 48, and then it went back down to 41. Then I just kind of stopped looking at it because the market closes at 4:00. And I just was like, I hopped on randomly at 6:00 or over $56 in aftermarket trading. Right before we got on, it was at $66 a share. So from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. in one day, it went from $11 a share to $66 a share. And I don't know, are you looking at it live right now? Do you know what it is?
Like 65.
65. Yeah. That is insane. So I've made a good fucking chunk of money off of this so far in one day. And so now this, me, you, and Vinny are talking. What do we do? Do we wait till it gets to a certain number and sell? Do we hang on and wait till the actual merger happens? So that's the other wild thing about this is all of this trading has happened in just one day today because it was announced that Trump was going to start a social media company. And then it was going to become public via a reverse merger with this company. The merger hasn't happened yet. So this is trading as DWAC. Again, if you learn a little bit more about SPACs, once the merger goes through, the stock ticker symbol changes, right? So this is actually how I ended up getting in on DraftKings years ago at a very low price. Is I bought it when it was, I think it was like Diamond Eagle acquisition, whatever it was. I bought a bunch of that, and then it merged and then became DraftKings, which is like DKNG, right? So once the merger happens, the symbol changes. We're still only trading DWAC. We're trading Digital World Acquisition right now. It has not become the Truth Network yet. So how crazy is this? How much is this going to go up once the merger goes through and once it becomes Truth?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
That's the best part. I have no clue.
Yeah, I have no clue. This is wild. And this is so exciting for me because it's like, this is one of the times I've been on like the cutting edge. So the whole like GameStop AMC thing that happened like last winter, like almost a year ago, I missed it. I missed out on it. Like I didn't buy it in time. Everyone made a fuck ton of money, got out of it. The Dogecoin thing, I never really made that much money. I made like a little bit of money out of it, but I was like, this is stupid. I don't know. I definitely didn't make more than a couple $100 off of it. If that, probably only like between 100 and 200, like very small money. Some people made thousands. Obviously, I missed out on Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Obviously, I missed out on like whatever. Pick one. Apple back in the day. Apple, you'd have to go back to like the 90s.
You've nailed a couple though.
I've nailed a couple. Yeah, like I nailed DraftKings. I forget which other ones I got.
You hit some of the casinos when things got bad.
That's right. Yeah, I did. I hit the casinos when everything shut down and those stocks tanked. So I've done okay, but I haven't really made like a lot of money off of any. You know what I mean? Like this is the first one where like I could potentially make like a decent chunk of change, because I've already made a lot just in one day.
Okay, so you know what's funny though? Because we're not stock traders, it's like, and I've heard someone like refer to it. Listen, any payday is good. Like, can I be clear
Yes.
about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like
Any
gambling.
payday is good.
It's like our buddy Ian Mack. Shout out to him, friend of the show. He says any week in the plus is a good week. You know what I mean? Like if you're betting.
Chaka this week.
Yeah. He did.
So I don't want to diminish the idea. Like, let's say you make $5,000 off this stupid stock, which, like, that might be a lot, that might be a little. You may have already made that. I doubt it, but like, let's say you make $5,000 off the stock.
Right.
That's a big hit. Like that's a huge hit.
And for me, that's a lot of money. Like $5,000 for me is a lot of fucking money. Like to people that trade stocks all the time and hedge funds and all that, $5,000 is nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I also like again, so that's a good hit. It really is. Like, you nailed it. But dude, $5,000 it's a good hit, but like, dude, it's not that much money.
It's not life changing.
And like, dude, like you couldn't even like, even $5,000, like you could take your profit and then like, oh well, I'll do something a little more conservative. Like, there's not, like, you can't do much with it. Like,
yeah.
And that's why, like, Incarcerated Bob on Twitter, if you want to go follow him, when he trades at a sum of like $20,000.
Yeah.
So if he was to buy $20,000 of our thing this morning, so let me pull up my calculator. So $20,000 divided by 11 would have given him 1,800 shares, a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
So 1,800 shares
times that by 65.
That's $117,000.
Right.
So he would have profited $97,000.
Yeah.
In a day.
Yep.
That's a huge hit.
Yes.
But if you have $20K to throw in on one stock you know nothing about,
right,
97,000 might not be that much. It's just you just stack it up. So it's like,
yeah.
Because I heard someone talking about this and kind of a fucking clown ass about it, and I was talking about something and like the crypto stuff, and it's like, oh well, it's not like life changing. Like, no, you know what? In the stock market, for me, there is no life changing money because I don't have enough. I don't have enough to put in
to get it out. You know what I mean?
and as a 29 plus year old, still haven't gotten to celebrate my 30th. 97,000 is a good hit.
Yeah.
I still have to work the rest of my life. Like that. Like, yes. That's what I mean. Like, so, like someone's like, oh, life-changing money. It's like, dude, I don't have enough money to make life-changing money. So not only would I have to hit, you would have to take your 20. Now, I just assume I'm incarcerated, Paul.
Right.
I would have to take my 20, turn it into 97 by hitting on something that never happens like that. That's insane.
Right. In so one day.
Then I would have to take my 97 and do it again. And not lose my ass in the process.
Correct.
So it's like, it's a really fucking hard thing to do. So it's like, even with some of this stuff, I try not to like, and this is to a fault. So it's like, I definitely don't have as many shares as you do. Now I bought in on it, but like, I like, again, I don't have the cash to, and I don't like to move my stuff around. So it's like, when I buy stuff to like long-term hold it, like I plan on long-term holding it. Yeah. So it's a very disciplined, conservative approach, but that's what I told myself to do. And I have pretty good self-discipline because I could have unloaded all of my fucking shit. Yeah. Bought up a bunch of it. But then it's like, dude, if it tanks, that's it. It's over.
Right. Right. It's a huge risk.
Yeah. So it's like, knowing that balance in like kind of what it is like, dude, even a good hit is never gonna like do it for me. Like I'm still gonna be working.
Yeah.
Like I'm still gonna be putting money in my fucking ETFs.
Yep. So
Although sports gambling,
I'm a little more aggressive
you
on
are.
my Robinhood portfolio because I have a retirement account. So I have a work sponsored retirement account. I have a 403b. So that, and you can pick your allocations and all that. So all of my allocations in there are like, I set it up after I read, I forget whose book I read.
Was it Tony Robbins?
No, it was, I want to say Ramit Sethi, but it wasn't him. It was somebody else. I don't know. So I read someone's book. Let me, if I can pull it up in my fucking Audible. Oh, it was shit. It was Ramit. Who knew? So it's Ramit Sethi. It's I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Great book. But in it, he outlines there's like a theory. There's like a well-known like, whatever the fuck style to invest, and it's like you put like whatever 30% in bonds, 5% in the international market, 10% in something, like, you know what I mean?
So,
like it breaks it down like that. So that's what my,
remember where you're at. So, because I went through this with my financial guy after we sold the house. There are, and I mean, it's like research and data. It's just with money.
Yeah.
Of all different types of allocations. And if you want to be conservative, it's a certain percentage of each thing.
Right.
And if you want to be aggressive, it's a certain percentage of each thing. And then there's also like, there's a spectrum too. So it's like five categories, or at least this is what that company does. So it's like conservative, aggressive, moderate. And then there's like moderately conservative and moderately aggressive. So it's like that's what fills the blanks.
Yeah.
And there's all these
I would say my retirement account is probably in like the moderately conservative.
And so I technically have two, but I told him, I go, dude, just let's go fucking aggressive with it. Like, why not?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, well, if it bottoms out, I go, dude, the stock market always comes back.
Yeah.
If it bottoms out in like 4 to 7 years, I'll fucking leave it in. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
Right. That's the whole thing, like with my retirement. So maybe I'm a little bit more, I don't know. So I found the thing. It's called something. It's the something model of whatever. But it's 30% in bonds, 20% in the global market, 20% in real estate securities, 10% in large cap, like index funds. And then the last 20%, I diverted from what they told me to do, and I went with like an aggressive portfolio.
So I think that's a pretty conservative breakdown.
Yeah.
Because bonds don't really move a lot. And that's what your highest percentage is.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like my actual retirement account is pretty conservative. So that's why I said like I'm a little bit more aggressive with my Robinhood account, because that's like me. Like I control it. You know what I mean? Like Voya does all my whatever they do for retirement. Like I'm not going to fuck around with that. That's their job. Let's do that. I look at Robinhood as like, I think right now my split's probably like 60-40, like ETF to individual stocks. But like that 40% of like individual stocks, like, like I said, like I fuck around a little bit. Like I like to get aggressive. I've talked to you and other people before about this company that I think has a lot of potential in the future, that has to do with psilocybin research. Once psilocybin starts to get, legalized, decriminalized, all that, I think there's a lot of potential there. I own a lot of shares of that, but it's trading at like $2.50 right now. You know what I mean? So if 10 years from now, it gets to be, up around 70, 80, 90, $100, you make a lot of money off. You know what I mean? That's like a long-term thing. But those ones, like I fuck around a little bit more. I really don't touch the ETF stuff that I have too much. But the way I think I'm going to start doing this is, and I gotta attribute this to sports betting, and the year I had with the baseball. So I crushed it this year in baseball. I'm a fucking baseball guy, if you haven't figured that out. But like what I might start doing with some of the stocks and some of the ETFs, like the ones that I'm just kind of in just to be in. There's one that's like an aerospace and defense ETF. Like I'm just kind of in it because I thought we were going to go to war and we haven't yet, but whatever. But like I might start looking at it as like death by 1,000 paper cuts, where like if I put it in and as soon as I make 10% of my money, sell it. And then take that money, put it into a different stock. As soon as I make 10%, sell it. Find a different, you know what I mean? And then go for the snowball. So I'm only making 10% and I might only start out with $200-300. So, 10% is $20, but $20 here, $30 there. Over the course of a couple of years, like it adds up. Then you also have to obviously account for losses too. Like it's not like I'm going to pick a stock that's going to go up 10% every single time. I'm going to pick some fucking stinkers. And then I'm going to pick maybe a stock that is going to go up 10% in 3 weeks. And then the next stock I roll it into might take 6 months to go up 10%, so it's like, yeah, I understand that what I'm doing, but I think I'm going to start trying to take that approach with some of my stuff too, just to see what happens and see how it goes, just to fuck around. Because like I said, this isn't my retirement account.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to at the end of the day, it's your money, do whatever the fuck you want. But I'm like trying to see if that even makes any sense though. Because for example, like the sports betting ETF.
Yeah.
In the last year, it's gone up 45%.
Yeah.
So for example, if you had pumped some money into it, waited for it to go up 10% to then pump it into something else, like you would have had to do 4 trades to get that 40%. So it's like, I don't know if the math necessarily works out. And I know, like, I'm going to say it. Obviously, capital gains matters. I know when it's not a lot of money. I know
man, you got to hold on to it for a year so you don't have to pay 30%.
Yeah.
Because paying 30% capital gains tax on $75 is that's what's going to break the bank instead of that 15%. Yeah.
But so for example, though, if you keep trying to snowball, whatever, you might actually it might actually be harder to do what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
the difference in capital gains on a $75 win is $10. That's $10, by the way, from 30% to 15%.
I'm talking about the idea, let's just even say 100. So say you take 100, and do I have any ETFs that are $100 right now? Okay, let's say you take 110. You buy 1 share of this high dividend yield thing, whatever. So you buy 1 share of it, goes up 10%. So now you have $121, and you yank it, and you go into something else, and now 121, that has become 133. 133 becomes 147, 147, 161. Okay. The capital gains on that.
Yeah, that is true too. Every time you make a sale, you have to pay capital gains.
But each trade, assuming it goes up to 10%, well, your 10% increase, you're getting taxed at 30% off.
Right.
So you might have to figure out a way for the math to work.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, I just said that now, I haven't put any real thought or math into it.
Yeah. But, and I would say none of it matters when it's short money.
Right.
Because I'm even looking at one thing that's being a stinker right now, and it's the market value of it's $80. I'm like, I might as well just even fucking hold on to it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting. Like I said, DWAC, Trump. People, that's the whole thing. That's how we got there. People fucking love Trump, by the way. Like, obviously, people, I think that's the biggest difference between Biden and Trump. Like, the whole reason why Biden won was because people just hated Trump. Like, he was so polarizing. People either hated him or they loved him. You ask people about Biden, they're like, I don't care. It doesn't matter.
no, it's
Who?
nothing to do with Biden. It's
Yeah.
a lot of anti-Trump votes.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, we don't really know what the future holds for this stock because, like, once it does finish the merger and go public, like, people are going to continue to buy the fuck out of it. Like, his supporters are diehard fucking supporters. You know what I mean? They're like fucking, those are like Philly fans. You know what I mean? Like, Biden fans are like Chargers fans.
What? Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think you got to make a couple things or a couple distinctions. One, you either get your value of the hold either gets to an amount that you can do something else with, and then you let it rip.
Yeah.
You wait until the merger, and then when the merger happens and it surges, because it will, like especially on like that first day.
Yeah.
Then you sell day of the merger when it gets up there, or you wait it out. And it's like, you wait for the network to actually launch and see what the response is. But my only thing, which again, I have so little invested that I don't care what I do. It doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily trust Trump to start a social network and have it be successful.
Right. Yeah, that's the other side of it.
So I might look at it like I'm probably going to wait for the merger.
And then shortly after the merger, decide on a figure that you like.
When the merger happens, like when it starts surging for the day, like I'll try to keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
So say it gets up, okay, we'll use hypotheticals. It gets up to $100 on the day of the merger, $100 a share. And then day of the merger, you start seeing it drop to 90. I might let it rip at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because again, for me, it don't matter. Like, it really doesn't.
Right. Right. So, yeah. And I think that's the play, honestly, too. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. And truthfully, I think that's what most people are like. Most smart people are going to do. Like, the actual, not to say that we're fucking good investors or we know anything about that, but like, just looking at things for face value, I feel like a smart investor is more likely to do that, what you just described, than be like, oh no, I'm in this for the long term because I love Trump. You know what I mean? Like the diehard Trumpers are going to be that. They're going to be like, no, I'm going to keep holding. No, I got to hold. I believe in Trump. It's going to work. It's going to work. Whereas the investor people are going to be like, this thing's fucking surging. I'm going to sell. And if it goes up, who cares? Because I already made a ton of money. You know
what's funny? Because I just saw this. Remember when Topps didn't get the MLB deal for this year?
Yeah.
And that killed the merger with Muds? Yep. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Until right now.
There's been a couple of those. I got fucked on a couple of them.
Well, I own Muds, and I still own Muds because I didn't know that the deal wasn't happening. I actually looked at it. I go, when is that deal? Like, when are they merging?
Yeah.
And now it ain't merging.
Muds and Horizon. I actually owned options. I took out a call for Horizon because Horizon was supposed to merge. I have them all written down in a note
who
on
that
my
one
phone.
was, because I was watching it and I never bought it.
Horizon was going to become Vivid Seats, which is like a competitor to like Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
And so I bought a bunch of that. Well, no, I'm sorry, I didn't. I bought a contract, an options contract for that in the future. And at one point, it was up pretty high. And I was like, oh man, I could sell now and make like a little bit of money, or I could wait till the merger. And then all of a sudden it just started dropping, and then it dropped to like nothing. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So then I Googled it and I found out that the merger fell through and that it was no longer going to become Vivid Seats. So I lost money there on that options contract, but that is what it is. It's what happens. So I don't know. There's a couple that I've lost a little bit of money on some of these too. You know what I mean? Like I'm not fucking
right here, I still
Warren
follow
Buffett out
each
here.
one. That's why. I still follow Horizon.
Oh yeah.
Oh, can get rid of that now.
Yep.
Doesn't bode well for Muds though, because Horizon didn't move.
Yeah.
Just...
yeah. Red Ball is back. So that's Billy Bean's SPAC. Red Ball Acquisition. That's RBAC. So that was supposed to be the Red Sox, because Fenway Sports Group was talking about going public probably right around this time last year. And they were going to do it with Billy Bean's Red Ball acquisition, the RBAC. And then the deal fell through in like January or February, and Red Ball just kind of fell apart. But I just read somewhere that they're back in business and they are going to merge with I think a gambling company or some sort of sports betting. I don't know. I can't find it right now. I'd have to spend a little bit more time looking for it, but no one wants to fucking be like, listen to me type on my phone. But they're back in action again with some potential hope in the future. So that's another one. So, you want to start wrapping this up? It's about that time.
Wrap this up.
Now that we've gone through stock hour.
Yeah.
And that's Sarcasm Speaks on Stocks.
All right. I sent this to you. So Only in Boston tweeted, Texas Senator Ted Cruz has listed Cambridge, Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket, and Newport as ports of entry under a proposed Stop the Surge Act that would relocate illegal immigrants from South Texas to newly established points of entry for processing. So then the little picture says, the Stop the Surge Act, or Stop the Surge of Unsafe Rio Grande Incumbents Act, would relocate illegal immigrants from South Texas to newly established ports of entry for processing, blah, 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 blah. So the locations that he chose, Block Island, Rhode Island, Greenwich, Connecticut, Martha's Vineyard, Cambridge, Governor's Island, New York, Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, Nantucket, Mass, Newport, Rhode Island, Scarsdale, New York. So of this list, I can tell you nothing about Scarsdale, New York, Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, or Governor's Island, New York. I can tell you nothing about those places.
No.
So Ted Cruz is a senator from Texas, Republican, conservative. And I don't know what the Texas border is like, but I know they don't like it down there. So I find this pretty fucking fun. Because, and I don't want this to be a political talk, because it has nothing. I don't find the politics of it fun. I don't give a fuck about the politics of it.
Yeah.
I just think it's hysterical that he chose blue states in the Northeast, as far away from fucking Texas as possible.
Yep.
Basically.
Yeah.
He picked 4 islands. And all of these places are absurdly fucking expensive to live in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Greenwich, Connecticut's going to be a fucking haven for immigrants.
Sick.
So I just find it fun because he wants the immigrants out. Obviously he doesn't want to do anything for them. I mean, whatever. Again, politically, like he would be, I guess, anti-illegal immigrant. That would generally be his stance, right?
Yeah, I would say.
I'm going to do median household income.
Greenwich. I'm going to say 92.
Median? Let's try 152.
Jesus. Wow.
Average house cost. Greenwich, Connecticut.
The average house has got to be 650.
Give me 1 second. Let me just make sure this. I'm on Zillow. What is this? Home value index. Is that an average? Oh, okay. So the Zillow home value index is the typical value for a geographic area. So I guess this would be considered average or typical.
Yeah.
In Greenwich, Connecticut. You said what?
650. 650.
650. That's adorable. 1.5 million.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. Okay. Just send the illegal immigrants to there. There's affordable housing there, right?
Yeah, it's got to be, right?
Right, tons of it.
Yeah, it's affordable. It's 650,000. That's half of the average.
Million.
That is fucking insane. Never
mind that even just like, so then the islands, and again, I'm only going to speak to Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket. Everything there is so expensive. Gas is more like everything. Literally everything. The only thing that might be cheaper is water, but everything is more expensive on the island. Ridiculously expensive. So I
good
just
luck
think
to them, right?
There's no way like Ted Cruz knows what these places are either, right?
I think he's doing it on. I think he's trolling.
But like, do you think he actually knows like where Nantucket is?
Yeah.
Like, does he realize that you can't access it outside of, a 2-hour boat?
Yeah, probably. That's why. Like he's trolling. That's what he's doing.
He is. It's absolute troll fest because Greenwich, Connecticut. Really what gave it away for me was Greenwich, Connecticut, because it's like it's like one of the richest fucking places in the fucking country.
Yeah, outside of fucking like the LA, Hollywood Hills of LA.
Like, yeah, like where real people live. I'm not fucking fuck them.
Yeah, yeah.
But like that's the one that was a dead giveaway for me. Because I'm like, oh, the Vineyard and Nantucket, like that's weird. They're islands, but yeah. So we picked 4 islands and then like all these like fucking super rich places that they definitely can't afford.
Yeah, no, send them there. That should be the new haven.
Yeah, so all those illegal immigrants, because they're definitely gonna want to deal with the weather up here too. Like, never mind that.
Oh yeah, they like weather.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny.
That's why they're leaving Mexico. It's too hot. Remember?
Yeah, they're coming north.
Yeah, it's
so
too
they're
hot
hanging in Texas and Arizona. It's cool. It's cold there.
Don't you remember? That's what they said back in like February, March. They said the reason why illegal immigrants are crossing the border so much is because of climate change.
Yeah, you're right.
That was what they said. That was their reasoning. They said, "Oh, it's climate change. That's why we have to fix climate change." Yeah.
It's too hot, but none of them go to Canada. Go figure.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, my final thought. I have a very, depending on how you want to look at it, a potential unfortunate scenario. And I want to know, when I first read this, I wanted to know who was on this plane, because I would like to meet them, because they were potentially bigger pieces of shit than us. So here's the story. A couple days ago, a plane crashed shortly after takeoff in Houston, Texas, right? So it's a plane crash. That's a kind of a big fucking deal, right? So takes off the runway, boosh, goes up and comes back down, crash, boom, burn, everything. However, nobody was killed, and there was only one reported injury. So, immediate, and then this probably says a lot about me. But my first thought when I read that headline, I go, was one of our friends on that plane? Because that is exactly what would happen, right? You go up, you're in a fucking plane crash, and we suck so much.
No one dies.
That we can't even fucking die in a plane crash.
You can't even do that right.
We can't even crash a plane and die correctly. And not only that, but we're gonna keep everybody else on the plane to survive with us. So they all think it's a cool story. You know what I mean? I just imagined like Vinny being on this plane and everyone survives. And now everyone for the rest of their life has a fucking story. Oh, I survived a plane crash. And Vinny's just sitting there like, motherfuck, I had my chance. As he just starts pounding fucking Bud Lights. I couldn't even do that right. I know.
Him and Nico sitting next to each other.
Yeah. But like that's the first place my head went to, was like, wow, someone on that plane was a huge piece of shit, and you can't even fucking die in a plane crash.
There's like gonna be so many people too. It's like, well, I've actually survived a plane crash, and I'm sitting there like, I'm so much of an idiot that a plane crash doesn't even do the job. That's how much I suck.
That's like the ultimate.
Yeah, it's a big middle finger, like a huge one.
Yeah. Oh man. So I just wanted to share that quick little final thought. I thought it was great when I saw it the other day. So that is going to do it for us, folks. So thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure you click subscribe. If you're still with us now, you might as well just fucking subscribe, right? So subscribe on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. All that stuff helps other people find the show that don't subscribe to us. You can get us wherever you stream podcasts. Doesn't matter. Spotify, Apple, fucking Google, wherever. If you use Apple, which like 73.4% of you or something like that do, go to the iTunes store, leave us 5 stars, write us a review. Again, all that stuff helps generate the organic views for people that don't already engage with us. So thank you to grillyourassoff.com. Go over to grillyourassoff.com, use our promo code SarcasmPod for 15% off your entire order. It's a multiple use coupon. Use it every time you go out there. They're the best. Grillyourassoff.com gives you 16 ounces of seasoning. They're like $11-12. It's unreal. They've got like 10 different flavors, all kinds of other stuff you can buy over there. Meat thermometers, aprons, t-shirts, hats, you name it. So go to grillyourassoff.com, promo code SarcasmPod for 15% off every single time you order. Also, thank you to mybookie.com. Promo code SarcasmPod over there will double your first deposit up to $1,000. So again, thank you to mybookie.com. Promo code SarcasmPod, double your first deposit. You can get us on Instagram at SarcasmSpeaksPod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. If you want in on the weekly NFL Pick'em, let us know. Send us a DM on whatever social media you want. Shoot us a text if you have our numbers. We'll get you the information. It gets signed up. It's $5 a week. There's no commitment. Play as many weeks as you want, little weeks as you want. Doesn't matter. And we haven't had one repeat winner yet either, right? So it's fun, you know. And the way we have it, we have enough people in there where if you win it once, it pretty much pays for the season. So we're good. That's going to be it. Until next time. Good night.